Hey, everybody, we've got some great news coming for an upcoming live event.
A live event, Pete. We've sort of done live events before, but this one's pretty legit, though.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun live event coming up in June. Scott, why don't you talk about it?
We're going to be hosting a screening of Jawbreaker. Darren Stein's Jawbreaker, a movie that we have covered. We are going to be watching it at the Rooftop Cinema Club.
Yes, indeed.
At their Club Arts District location. So if you want to come join us, we're going to be doing a Q&A at the end of the movie with Darren Stein, the director, and prior guest of the show.
Yes,
it's going to be really fun. If you go to rooftopcinemaclub.com and search Jawbreaker in their movie selection, it is going to be June 29th at 7:30 p.m. at the Rooftop Cinema Club Arts District.
In downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So if you're in LA and you want to check out a screening of Jawbreaker, it's on the roof of this really cool building in the Arts District in downtown LA. There's a beautiful view of all of downtown. The whole cityscape is there behind us, and we're going to be watching the movie underneath the stars in the midst of the summer evening. And as soon as the movie ends, Scott and I will be hosting a Q&A with the director, Darren Stein.
Yeah.
So check it out on rooftopcinemaclub.com.
And there's going to be more events like this to come later in the summer.
Yes, indeed. This is only our first one.
This is only our first one.
If you're going to be in the LA area this summer and you want to check out Movies That Made Us Gay live, we will be doing this event as well as a couple more upcoming. And we'll be releasing the Q&As as bonus content, probably here on the main feed.
Yeah.
So keep listening for more information about that. But this first show is June 29th, Rooftop Cinema Club. Check it out.
Scott, we would love to see you there.
Do we have pricing for this right now? Pricing is available on the website.
Yeah, look on the website.
So check
There's
it out.
two different types of seats that you can get.
Yes, indeed.
You get a comfy chair at these.
You get a comfy chair. If you get,
you're not sitting on the hard ground like it's
not like at
the other one.
Yeah, we're going to be in a nice chair with the cushion. And if you're in the front couple of seats, you get some free popcorn included with it. The movies come with a headset, so you don't have to worry about people talking around you. It's kind of a really fun event. So check out that. rooftopcinemaclub.com for more information.
Yeah.
And until then, here's the movie.
Enjoy the episode.
Bye.
Oh, my God. Do you know who this is? No. That's Warner's older brother. Oh. Third-year Yale law student Putnam Bose Huntington III and his fiancée, Lane Walker Vanderbilt. First year Yale law. This is the type of girl that Warner wants to marry. This is what I need to become to be serious.
What? Practically deformed?
No. A law student.
Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
It has taken us this long to get to this movie, Pete.
I kind of forgot we didn't do this movie already.
Right? We've done this as a commentary.
Oh, that's why. Well, everyone, welcome back to the show. My name is Pete.
Welcome back, and I'm Scott, and these are the movies that made us gay.
Yes, indeed.
Our new friend Wolfgang, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, and we had you over tonight to watch Legally Blonde, directed by Robert Luketic.
Yes.
I knew I was going to pronounce his name wrong, too. Released July 13th, 2001.
Yes.
Wolfgang, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Kind
How
of-
are you guys?
We're doing
Great.
great, and kind of funny that we ran into you at the Eagle one night.
Yes, indeed.
We were out on the patio of the Eagle, and I believe that we were admiring the moon. There may have been some howling at the moon, and we just got chatting with you.
Yeah, I was on one of my hippie LA adventures, and I go down there, and I was like waiting for the full moon while getting a few beers, and I saw it, and I ran outside. When the minute came, I saw you guys. I just went to your table, didn't even look at you guys, looked right up. You're like, what is it? I'm like, it's the moon.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that was
bonded under the moon at the Eagle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Was it like a blood moon or something? There was something about it.
It was just a full moon. That
it was just all beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, then I got to meet you guys, amazing people.
Yeah. This is how connections are made.
Exactly.
People leave your house, talk to strangers, and you'll meet some friends along the way. And here we are.
And then
this
during the
episode.
conversation, we told you about our podcast. And then I don't know how we just started talking about, I think that you just mentioned Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been wanting to do a Legally Blonde episode. You should just come on for it.
Oh my God. And when I tell you this movie was literally the epitome of my life, because my mom, anytime it came on, she would just scream, Wolfgang!
It's on!
Yeah,
my mom also loves this movie.
Loved it. And I watched it every single time fully with my mom. It was amazing.
Love it.
This is a good, gay son and mom bonding movie. My mom
God.
and sister and her best friend used to love this movie. Still do.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I don't remember when I first saw this movie.
So I saw this movie when I was visiting my uncle in Southern California. I, for the life of me, cannot remember what movie theater it was. It was
How dare
probably
you.
the Southland outside. I mean, it was probably somewhere in Orange County. I don't know where.
Well, I mean, this is only noteworthy because listeners, if you follow along with the show, then you'll remember that Scott has his X-Men power is remembering what movie theater he saw every movie.
It really
he's ever
bothers, and it
seen.
really bothers me that I don't know what movie
Yeah.
theater I saw this in. Like,
Yeah.
I think about it all the time
Yeah.
when I think about this movie.
And my X-Men power is immediately forgetting what movie theater I've watched a movie in. The minute I walk out.
What's the big mall in Riverside?
The Ontario Mills
May have been the Ontario Mills Mall.
or the Galleria at Tyler. I don't
Maybe
think
that.
it was the Galleria at Tyler. That's
What's that
in Riverside.
What's that outdoor mall where we went to and walked around when we were on the way to Palm Springs?
That is the Gardens, something Gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
Victoria. That's Victoria Gardens.
Victoria
in
Gardens.
Rancho.
Maybe it was there.
I don't know if that was there then. So I think it might have been the Ontario Mills. Not that it matters, folks.
No.
But I don't recall the first time I saw this movie. I remember liking it, but I don't have as deep of a history as the two of you. Wolfgang, do you remember the first time you saw this movie?
I do, in
You
fact.
do?
I
Okay,
do.
tell us about it.
I was probably I think it was 11 when it came out. So I was probably still 11, freshly when it came out. And it was actually, it had to have been a year after, because I watched it on TV. And I remember my mom, she always made me watch chick flicks. And I don't know, I just always loved it. Even though I never really was into superhero movies, this was my superhero movie.
Okay.
But I ended up...
Elle's totally a superhero.
Oh my God, yeah, defying the odds of what everyone says and thinks. Boom.
It's her origin story.
Yeah, so she screamed, she brought me to her room, and then we watched it, and ever since then, we've watched it every time. But yeah, it was in her bedroom.
Okay.
So
Cute.
I
Love it.
remember, this is from that time that I was subscribing to movie magazines, and I remember reading about this movie in Teen Line magazine. I've mentioned this publication before.
Teen Line magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Teen Movie Line
Teen
magazine,
Movie Line
excuse me.
magazine, okay.
And just kind
I
of
love
that
it.
day where I'm sure that information on it was on the internet.
Sure.
Because this probably shot in mid 2000.
Yeah.
But I remember reading a write-up of Reese Witherspoon in this movie called Legally Blonde. And I remember they had a little photo. It was kind of like a mock-up kind of publicity poster of the movie. And I was 100% in.
Okay.
And I was waiting for this movie summer of 2001. And I was disappointed in Premiere Magazine's summer movie preview that they did not have a lot written on it.
Sure.
Just because I think that the expectations of this movie going into that summer, I mean, summer 2001 had some huge movies. I mean,
Right.
that was the summer of Fast and the Furious. There was a big Spielberg movie. Planet of the Apes was summer of 2001. And I just feel like everybody just sort of dismissed this movie as being a girl movie.
Well, and Reese Witherspoon wasn't Reese Witherspoon yet. She was still kind of. This kind of was
A
the
star
one
on
that
the
kinda turned her
rise.
around,
Yeah, this is definitely the role that turned her into a movie star. And then it came out in July and just made a shit ton of money.
Okay. Yeah. That tracks.
And audiences loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it's got Jennifer Coolidge. That's not to love.
Oh,
Now,
this cast is incredible.
we have
really
to
is.
we have to preface and say Jennifer Coolidge has been going through a moment for the past couple
yeah.
of years, right? With White Lotus, she's kind of has this global recognition. This is 2001, and she had already kind of been around the block.
Was she at this time at the Groundlings main
In
company on
2001
Sunday?
In 2001, she may have still been in the main company at the Groundlings, along with Melissa McCarthy and I can't think of who else was in it at the time. Oh, you know who was in it is Larry David's wife.
Oh, Cheryl Hines.
Cheryl Hines.
Heather McDonald was probably there too.
Well, Heather was in Sunday Company,
Mm-hmm.
which is very different. It's 1 day a week. And it's kind of pay to play. But Jennifer was definitely in the main stage. And, Jim Rash and all the guys from Reno 911.
Mm-hmm.
Nat Faxon. Who did Jim Rash win his Oscar with?
That is The Descendants.
Yeah.
He won for The Descendants, and that is
I think it is
Alexander Payne.
Okay. No, but he had a co-writer, and I think it's Nat Faxon.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, all those kids were over at the Groundlings with Jennifer Coolidge, and she was just as insane, weird, like funny as she is now, but just without the recognition.
What was her big sketch? It was
Glass Menagerie.
The Glass Menagerie.
Jennifer Coolidge doing her Glass Menagerie sketch at the Groundlings was so funny, and I saw it. I saw it in '99 with Jose Galvez.
Oh, so you would have known her as Stifler's mom.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. That's how I know her, as Stifler's mom.
Absolutely.
And I love to hear that she's like just as bright and vibrant as she is today. That's really
cool.
cool.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
That's, fame really changed her.
It turned her around.
It really changed.
But yeah, this cast is wild though. When you like Victor Garber, like Holland Taylor, just a supporting cast, of like the professors, all that. But then, when you get into it, like our two of our favorites,
Oz Perkins.
Movie. Well, we love Oz Perkins.
I love Oz Perkins,
but Alanna Ubach.
Oh
my God.
Treasure. She's so good.
The best friends. Do we know their names? The best friends?
Yeah, it's Margaret and Serena.
Okay.
And so I love that, Alanna was also the mom in Euphoria for Casey and Lexi, and that's how I remember her.
Get the fuck out of here. She's not the mom on Euphoria.
Yeah,
we
mom on
haven't watched
Euphoria.
So
oh my God. It's good, but made for just one.
Sure, yeah. But Alanna Ubach, we fucking love. She's another one who's out of her mind, but so funny. Like,
so good in the Brady Bunch movie.
Yes. Oh my God. Noreen.
Yeah.
the closeted lesbian best friend of Marsha.
She's really funny with Jessica.
Jessica Cauffiel.
As
the other friend. And what else do I know Jessica Cauffiel from?
Jessica Cauffiel was in Urban Legend Final Cut.
Okay.
She was in Valentine. She has a great death scene in Valentine where she gets shot with an arrow and she flies through a door and lands into a dumpster. Great movie death scene.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Also, White Chicks.
That is what I'm thinking of.
Oh my God, when I saw her and how tall she was, I was like, damn.
Yeah. And White Chicks has a girl in it who is not Alanna Ubach, but looks like her. And I was like, oh, that's the girl from... Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, I remember. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So this cast is amazing. And then to... like Luke Wilson, Selma Blair, like the heavy hitters.
And like you mentioned, Reese on the rise. I definitely knew who Reese was at this time, just because I remember we were just talking about Pleasantville earlier today, and I remember that being a big deal for her.
Right.
When she was in that movie. Election kind of, that was a big deal. And also coming off of Election, she's talked about just sort of getting offered these very... dare I say, shrewish characters. Just kind of these Tracy Flick types.
Sure.
So I think this was a very deliberate move that I'm going to do a broad comedy.
Right. It fucking suits her. She plays this character so well. That's the thing. It's like you could say that this is kind of like a stereotype character, a little easy, but it's like... the big, I don't know if we're putting the cart before the horse here, but one of the big like legends that's come out of this movie is that it was turned down by Christina Applegate.
Yeah. I was going to say, isn't that crazy too?
Which is fucking wild.
Who says that she regrets it?
And she says she regrets it, of
she
course.
She a lot more bitter than that.
Yeah, well, yes. But the thing is, it's like she said she wanted to turn it down because it's another dumb blonde character. And she just played Kelly Bundy for so many years. But... And she didn't play Kelly like this.
Well, and I feel like early drafts of the script were maybe a little college raunchy comedy, kind of in the vein of American Pie.
Yeah.
From what I was reading.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what it was first pitched.
Or they're just thinking like Cher Horowitz goes to college.
Yeah.
Right? Clueless goes to college. Let's just do that.
We should also mention that this movie is based on the book by Amanda Brown, and she based this story off of her going to Stanford Law and being obsessed with beauty and fashion and reading Elle magazine and clashing with all of the peers at the law school.
All the fucking dicks like the ones in this movie.
They're so mean to her.
They're so mean
They
to
are such assholes to her.
My favorite part about Amanda Brown doing this too was not only did she like write it based off like her life, but she also actually wrote it on like pink paper and a furry pen, and she sent the script in a pile of things. And the reason the guy chose it was because it was on pink paper.
Love that.
And that's how it came to be.
Love
So,
that. That's such a fun little
Mark Platt,
right? Yeah.
I think found the manuscript for the book.
Not
or
Mark Platt.
Mark Platt.
I know.
Ben Platt's father, executive at Universal.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if he found a manuscript of the novel or of a script and then Helper turned it into a novel. I'm not really sure what came first.
Yeah.
Of this was intended to be a script and then it became a novel. I don't really know. And then we got Legally Blonde.
Yeah. Oh my God, thank God too.
And they talk about just sort of the development of the script of that. It was sort of meant to be an edgy, raunchy college comedy. And then it just kind of turned into the story of women empowerment, which is kind of cool.
Right.
No, I love that, honestly. And it really is. It really does a story about a woman who literally has everyone going against her.
Yeah.
And she's going against everyone's will. And she puts in so much hard work. And she's still being her with good moral values.
You know, one of the best things about this movie that I completely forgot that it does is that, because I haven't sat down and watched it in a while. So we're watching it last night, and Selma Blair comes on, and I'm just like, oh, there she is. Ooh, this frigid Selma Blair. I just hate her so much. She's just so terrible. But she has such a good redemption and kind of like turnaround for this character. And you're not just like, fuck this bitch the whole time. And Elle actually does develop a friendship with her. And it's like, and that's so cool. Like, they didn't have to do that. She could have just been a bitchy girl, and they're the mean girls, and Elle is the underdog. But no, it was like they just didn't understand each other, you know? Mm-hmm. She was afraid kind of Elle because
she's going to take her man.
Yeah, you know.
Back.
And Elle was afraid of her because she had like ugly brown hair. But you know, in the end they kind of saw eye to eye and figured out that, hey, like, we both have a lot of shit that's like getting thrown at us here, and like we've nobody's going to help us but each other. So like, and I really love that they kind of gave that character an arc within the confines of the movie, because they didn't have to do that. She could have just been a bitchy girl and just been a villain the whole time.
I kind of wonder if Selma Blair came on board with the recommendation of Reese.
Right.
Because they had worked with each other
in Cruel Intentions.
In Cruel Intentions, but I don't think they have any scenes together until the end.
Right.
So they probably just knew each other.
Yeah. They actually were neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually lived right next to each other. So during the filming, they would go and like hang out and stuff. So that was also really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
I was like, rich people, huh?
Right, yeah.
reading the short list of the mysterious casting list on Wikipedia.
Of people who were quote-unquote considered
of
for
people
this
who
movie.
were considered. I mean, Charlize Theron.
Okay, for Elle.
Maybe in the early 2000s. Charlize Theron I could buy.
I always have this, I don't know what is wrong with me, but there's this thing in my brain that Charlize is like the new kid in town. And I'm like, she wasn't working then, but it's like, yes, girl, she has. But I don't know why she's just like, because she wasn't around in the 80s or something, I'm like, she's that new
Kid
exotic lady.
She's this.
Yeah. But she's been around since the 90s, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
I was also reading Alicia Silverstone, and I think that this character was written as a Alicia Silverstone type.
Yeah, Cher Horowitz goes to college.
I'm sure it probably went Alicia's way somewhere.
Yeah.
I would love that too. And I've done her hair and her kids' hair too.
Ooh.
I'm a hairstylist, by the way, you guys. And she is so freaking nice.
Yeah.
Still so gorgeous in person.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wow. I remember the first time I saw her, I didn't recognize her. And then when she left, everyone was like, do you know what that was? I was like, no. They're like, that's from Clueless. I was like,
she married our prior guest Blake.
Oh yeah, Blake and Garrett.
Blake and Garrett.
She officiated their wedding. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I could see if maybe Reese passed on this. Could you see Jennifer Love Hewitt
No.
in this?
Legally Blonde?
And Legally
No.
Blonde.
No, I can't
She
see
doesn't-
J-Lo.
she doesn't read- she
I
doesn't
can't
read
see.
blonde.
Not my love.
It would be weird.
No, she would look weird with blonde hair. Sorry,
You would have
about
to
it.
change the character.
Sorry, love. I'm not,
and then
I'm
I
not
was
here
also
for it.
reading Katherine Heigl, which, if you were to follow Katherine Heigl's career, I mean, it would be a big.
this was made for TV.
It would be a big, breakout role for her because
Sure.
I think that she wasn't doing
Yeah.
bleed stuff at that time,
Yeah,
but maybe.
Yeah. But I also think Christina could have done such a good job.
Yeah. I think it would. We're so married to Reese Witherspoon in this movie
as Elle,
that
yeah.
I could see a version of this character with Christina Applegate.
Do you think that Christina Applegate reads older than Reese Witherspoon?
Honestly, I think in this movie, I think she would.
I think so.
I think she
so,
would.
yeah.
I think she. Yeah, I'm glad she stuck to Reno 911.
And then they were cast as sisters on Friends.
Oh, that's right.
They're both Rachel's sisters.
cute.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
yeah, and I think that Reese in 2001 was on Friends too. So she did Friends very shortly after she made this
I'd
movie.
have to look up the timing.
I think it was either 2001 or 2002 that
Yeah.
she was on Friends.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's so cool.
Okay. Yeah, they both played Rachel's sisters,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both very funny in the roles. Not at the same time though; they always play them separately.
But,
But I love-
Reese,
but I love this casting.
Reese is a angel sent from heaven in this movie. I cannot really think of this movie any other way but her.
Generally, I really couldn't. It's
Like it has to
godsend.
be her.
Yeah.
Do you guys actually know who Vivian, Selma Blair, was almost casted?
Oh, it was Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah, she turned it down to do the thriller Demon Lover 2002, which was shooting at the same time.
That would have been an interesting.
know what
This
that
would have been an
is.
interesting movie for
Yeah,
Chloe
I feel
Sevigny
like
to
at the
follow her
time-
Oscar nomination for.
Yeah,
right?
Very interesting.
I'm glad it's Selma, though. You know,
Yeah, I like Selma in this role. She kind of plays this buttoned up girl really well, and she works as kind of an opposite aesthetically.
Sure.
Because the whole thing with what's the ex-boyfriend's name? Warner. The whole thing with Warner is that he's like, you're my Marilyn, I'm looking for my Jackie, and she's got like the dark hair and all that. So it's like, okay, I get it. She's like a little bit more
like a frigid bitch. Yeah.
Would they have made Chloe a brunette? Could Chloe pull off brown hair? Has she ever? I feel like I only ever seen Chloe Sevigny with
Blonde.
blonde.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
so.
it would look gorgeous, but we will never know, I guess.
We will never know. We'll never know.
So, whenever we watch this movie, it always makes me miss Pasadena because the opening shots of this movie when they're going around Sorority Row, and this is UCLA?
CULA.
Okay, so this
California University.
This
which
is neighboring.
on
This is neighboring the 90210 college.
I think it's the same college from 90210, Fresh Prince of Bel Air. This because they can't say Cal State or
I'm sure that
University.
Donna and Kelly were like pledging
Wandering around.
Were
Yeah.
pledging some sorority down the street, but it was shot at Caltech.
It was shot at
I
Caltech,
take my lunch hours at work at Caltech almost every day. And
Yeah.
I walk around that campus, and it is beautiful.
That sorority row is closer to PCC. It's on the other side of campus.
Still
It's off-
Caltech,
It's
though.
off hill. It is still Caltech because PCC does not have those. Pasadena City College does not have those buildings. But
Makes me miss Pasadena. when
yeah,
I watch
those-
the opening sequences of this movie
those are the only shots. It's just those exteriors.
when they're bringing the little letter to Elle.
Yeah,
that she's going to
but
go on her date.
You guys know us. We're sticklers for like the exterior shots of like we know where that is. Because the rest of it they don't shoot anymore at Caltech. I think
I gotta take a road trip there because I literally didn't know that, and I'm going.
it's cute. Yeah,
Oh, it's a beautiful campus.
All that where the credits are going, and there's like all those shirtless guys
And the girls on the
lawn,
bike.
and the girls on the bike.
I gotta say
Yeah.
too, like during this intro, like it is the perfect Y2K montage.
I mean-
like the perfectly blonde, toned hair,
That
French pedicure,
fucking
with the locket,
and that fucking song.
the girl,
Yeah.
the perfect song, perfect day.
Yeah.
And I love that they do like this girl shaving her leg and just put Selma Blair's name next to it. I was like, what is this?
all those boys that are shirtless wearing like the biggest cargo shorts with like their boxer shorts underneath. I was like, do you think they just went to PCC and they're like, we need 20 guys
Yeah.
to be in a movie right now.
And they did great.
And they did great. They're
did
all
their job.
shirtless, wet guys. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too.
But yeah, I think it's very endearing for Elle that she is, I don't know, like, yes, she's, all about the sorority and all about like clam bakes and the social schedule and like going to the Cape and all that stuff. But it's like, she got her fucking bachelor's.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is no small feat.
She had a 4.0
you know what I mean? Yeah.
and a fucking major in history
Yeah.
of polka dots.
If this is in the universe of this movie, the CU system, the California University system, this is an analogy for UCLA.
Which is pretty much like an Ivy League school to get into.
Graduating.
Take it that she is, her family are billionaires,
Yes,
probably.
absolutely.
She
They
grew
look
up
super
across
rich.
the street from Spelling Mansion.
Her family, that shit is so funny. At the very end of the movie, when it's the graduation and the dad has a full ass martini.
That's like a
at the
leftover 80s joke.
That shit is so funny to me.
And James looked
Died.
so good as Elle's father.
Who's the dad?
It was James. Oh my gosh. Give me a second.
He's a handsome guy, yeah. So yeah, I mean, she graduated from, let's say, UCLA with a degree in fashion marketing
And fashion merchandising.
And
To
merchandising.
run department stores, that's the degree that you have to get, too.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of thrown out like it's like
a stupid degree.
It's like a
yeah.
stupid
Like an
degree,
easy
but I
one.
mean,
but it's no small feat to get
Yeah.
into UCLA. First of all, today it's like practically, like you said, Scott. It's like getting into fucking Harvard even to get into UCLA. So it's like they're just little throwaway things, but it's like she's not fucking stupid. Like she's done the work. She's put in the work, and on top of all that, she is the president of her sorority. She has done all these things and accomplished all this crap. So it's like it's funny and blah blah blah, but it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't have had the drive in college to do all that shit.
Honestly, I never went to college, but this is truly how I fantasize a sorority. They all shower together. They all fucking work out together. It's freaking amazing.
I mean, I have my fantasy in my head of what being in a fraternity it's like, but it's fraternity and then there's an X at the end of it. And that's something else. That's a whole different YouTube channel. Yeah.
Also, it was James Reed who played Elle's father.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Look, but the parents are funny. The parents are funny, and that's kind of played for a joke, but I love it.
So this movie starts with Elle going out with her boyfriend, played by Matthew Davis. I remember Matthew Davis at this time. They were trying to kind of make him the new Paul Walker, sort of,
if you will,
because he was in Legally Blonde and Pearl Harbor the same summer.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So they were kind of trying to make him. Is he leading man material? I don't know.
So what's interesting about him playing this role too is that he actually based his role off George W. Bush.
What? That's about right.
What?
But the whole but like everything that he says to her, you're just like, you piece of shit, and like.
But you're so hot. I don't care.
Oh, when you know Matthew Davis would have been discovered by Joel Schumacher because he was one of the twinks in Tigerland with Colin Farrell.
One of the twinks in Tigerland. That's a war movie.
Oh, and then
that's a war movie.
And then he followed this up with Blue Crush.
Ooh.
So I mean, they were trying to make him
Lesbian
a
icon.
thing, and I don't think anything really stuck.
Nothing stuck.
No, it's unfortunate too.
Yeah.
But I also love that when he does come in, he's wearing a full slick back, sunglasses as driving at night.
Yeah.
And like comes in and there's a part right before he walks in is like they're at this like shop and she's wearing this gorgeous blue gown and everyone's like, why are you wearing pink? And I wish she still wore that blue fucking gown. She looked amazing.
The sequence gown?
The sequence down. And she comes down this 90s like Tiger Cougar Mom's outfit. I was like, what is this?
The pink dress is kind of funny that she's wearing. It's got a weird slit. It is a little cougar. Yeah. So, okay, there are a couple of moments in this movie where I'm just like, Elle, fuck, pull yourself together. And I get that she's been dating this guy for a long time and she's expecting him to propose. And he comes out with this bullshit thing about like,
his brother is dating a Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and you just don't meet the expectations of what I'm supposed to do with
She's
my
in
life.
Maryland, and he needs to be with
And
Jackie.
he needs to be with Jackie. And it's the thing, like you said, of the George Bush situation of just like,
Dumb.
this is dumb, first of all, but this is just my family, and this is how we do things, you know? And you know what happens when there's those kinds of expectations? The fucking Murdoch,
Yeah.
like, what state was that in?
North Carolina?
Yeah, that fucking lawyer that murdered his entire family because
Oh my god, that's so horrible.
because of like expectations and like, you know, family legacy and all that bullshit. But you know, the fact that she is like, I get it, you're heartbroken. That this came out of nowhere. You literally were expecting to get proposed, but then he dumps you, and the way he does it is so shitty. He's just like,
Dude, it was like probably it would probably be the most traumatic thing in my life.
Yeah.
Being taken to a gorgeous restaurant. He's like telling me all these amazing things about our future.
Yeah.
Like cheerings me, calls me Pooh Bear. And then he goes, fuck no.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
yeah,
Have you ever worked in the service industry and witnessed something like this happen?
Honestly, yeah. I
have.
I have. It's horrifying.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But like at a hair salon. Like what?
I've witnessed fights like this at restaurants, and all of the staff are just like off to the corner, just like observing.
We love watching the drama. We just don't want to be in it.
no,
Yeah.
But my thing is, it's like, okay, in the moment that's gotta suck, but it's like, fuck that guy. Like, you're gonna. I know it's like the drive of the entire movie.
Well, we have to start with Elle at the most
Yeah.
lowest point.
Yeah, but to be
Too.
like, but I need to be with him. It's like, no, you don't. This guy's an asshole. Why would you want to be with that?
Well, I think that Elle is about to learn
A
a very,
very
valuable,
valuable
lesson on her journey, Pete.
Yes, I get it. It is the driving force of the movie. If she said, "Fuck you, Warner," like go,
End.
yeah, then yeah, credits.
Finn.
Credits.
I'm gonna finish my fashion merchandising degree and go and.
And I gotta say too, I genuinely think she took it so calmly compared to how I would. I would have
Yeah.
been the
She had a couple of
telenovela.
shrieks. She had a couple of shrieks, and people looked. But she kept herself together. You're right.
Yeah, you know, and she walked away. I would have thrown the water, bitch slapped him. I'm like, call the cops. Call them.
Yeah, turn the table over.
Yeah.
Prostitution whores, turning tables
I'm
over.
Gay.
We bring the drama. We are the drama. Of
But
the
yeah,
season.
she, you know, I just like, you know, to be at that point thinking you're going to get engaged and dumped in such a like horrific way, but 100%.
Yeah.
She could have kept it a little bit more and been like, oh, what about me? But let me tell you, I don't even have that security in myself.
Yeah. And I don't know. I do think that her kind of like decision and journey of like, okay, he's going to Harvard Law, like that's what I need to do. That shit is so funny. When
I love that woman when she is when they're reading the magazine. So Elle is reading Fox and Hound, I think.
I don't even know.
Some like waspy magazine, and the old lady is reading an issue of 17 magazine, and I remember pausing it at the time on my tape of like, who is on the cover of that 17 magazine, and we did it last night. Do you know who it is?
I don't.
It is
Josie and the Pussycats.
Rosario Dawson, Tara Reid, and Rachel Lee Cook
Oh my God. I just
Yeah.
love to
on
hear
the
Tara
cover of
Reid.
17 magazine
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love
that
that so
this
much.
little old lady is reading.
But the weird thing is, in the movie, what we noticed is that like it doesn't look like she's actually holding it. They like kind of did some weird like CG morphing thing to like put the cover on the magazine.
Do you think that she was just holding up like a blank magazine and they just put on the most current issue of 17 when they were editing it?
if that was originally the intention, or she was just holding up something else altogether, and they're just like, you know, what would be cool, and then just did it in post? But it looks freaking weird.
I don't think that. I think that maybe Reese Witherspoon would have been. I don't think that she was quite doing covers of 17. She would have moved on to something else at the time.
Why does she end up at the salon? Is she just like?
So what happened was like her friends come, you know, Serena and Margaret. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Margaret? All right. And so basically they come in, you know, she's like watching a movie and it's like
She's
this-
watching Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, and she like fucking throws the candy being
Very,
like,
very famous scene
Oh,
where
that's
she's eating the box of
right.
chocolates.
Yeah.
Yep.
Margot and Serena.
I'm also going to give the people what they want because we kind of missed this like iconic quote. But, you know, if I'm going to be a standard by the time I'm 30, I need to stop dicking around. And Elle, you know. Oh, my God. I love that quote.
Yeah.
But what was it? Oh, yeah. So they come up. They come save her. They're like, what's the one thing you always love doing? And so they get mani-pedis.
There you go.
And this is actually one of my favorite scenes that Serena does. Because how does she know Mandarin? Like she's like straight talking Chinese, talking about how this girl's eating 8 cheese, like freaking sandwiches, and that she, you know, she was gonna be married, the first one, but now she just lost it all. Loved it. I love her.
But that's just
I love Alanna in that
Alana's
scene.
Like craziness to her, that delivery, and she's just straight face delivers it.
That's why I was dying.
Like, okay. and this woman doing her nails is just like, I know that's right. She's just like, okay.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah.
Alanna, you're a treasure.
She's so funny.
She's so funny.
I'm also going to claim this now. Serena's actually probably one of my favorite people in this movie. Even though she was like only there a few bits.
I miss them the whole time. I was like, where are they? Why aren't they here?
Crazy girl with the slow dits one. Loved it.
Yeah. I got bangs.
You got bangs. Oh, I quote that a lot.
And this is the first time we meet Jennifer Coolidge in this scene. No.
It's later on.
This is when she's deciding to be a lawyer.
Okay.
And she has to study for the LSATs. I mean, I've only taken a handful of tests like this.
Oh my God, good for you.
I didn't even take the SAT test. I took whatever Montana State needed, which was the most basic one, because I was an in-state student and I pretty much just needed a pulse to get in.
Oh my God! Like I barely graduated high school, so
same. I couldn't even imagine tackling something like the LSAT.
No. I can't imagine tackling taxes.
Oh my God, that is so daunting.
Yeah. God.
And California is one of those states that we could just go and take the LSAT and become a lawyer. Like I think in the state of California,
if you pass the bar,
you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
Like you don't actually have to have
but it's fucking hard,
education.
You
but
can't just
that's
walk
the thing.
It is
that probably doesn't happen for most people.
So we'll see Miss Kim K. I think she just took like an LSAT or an equivalent and just like.
Why did I already think she was already a lawyer though? Because she was already doing a case.
Did she pass the bar?
I don't think she passed the bar yet, but she just took something and passed it, and it was like a big deal.
She took a stump double.
Yeah, but I mean, she's been interning at these like law firms.
I mean,
and stuff.
she comes from like a law family.
I don't know, but that doesn't get passed down. You got to go to school for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they bring her to the nail shop and she's reading the magazine and she like is next to this old lady like, oh my God, this is it. This is what I need to be. And the lady's like, what? Practically deformed?
I love her.
No, she didn't even know what she was.
No shade. For a second, I thought the girl in the picture was Chelsea Clinton.
Well, do you think that's the joke?
I think.
Do you think it's just sort of a little jab at the Clintons?
I mean, let me tell you this much. If I was the first daughter at 13, bitch, I would be paying so much money to have the internet scrubbed. I'd be like, how do you get pictures taken off the internet? Sir, we can't do that. Yes, but how do you do it? Because if I was the first daughter at 13 years old, like Miss Chelsea Clinton was, oh my goodness, you do not want to see the state of all this at 13.
That's a lie. I would love to see it.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. And I actually personally I've had like photos taken off the internet of me. And let me tell you, it is a year's process.
I can't.
It took about like 3 or 4 years to get stuff off Google with my name on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It wasn't anything bad. It was just like me in cosmetology school looking like crap. And I was like, I don't want this linked to my name.
Oh, got it. No whole pics yet. Wow.
I love the montage of Elle studying for the LSAT. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
and it really sets the tone of this is the movie that you're in for.
So
too.
We didn't immediately Google it, but Scott did find out that Harvard does not, in fact, take video essays.
I was curious.
Actually, thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one thing where I'm just like, I don't know. Are they just throwing this in the garbage?
It leads to a funny scene. Because I think that Elle is the type of girl that would send a produced video like she's auditioning for the real world
right
to Harvard.
Which I totally
that's
did.
funny. Yep.
Audition for the Real World?
I did.
Oh, come on, so did I.
did
What
not
season?
get it. Oh my god, I think it was like probably like 5. I don't remember.
5? You would have been like 12.
Yeah, well, I don't remember what it was, but I remember when I was 18, I was living with my friend at the time, and I thought that was my breakaway. And I was like, I'm going to apply for the real world. And I wrote whatever I could on that. I was like, I'm traumatized by my dad.
I mean, it was a big launching pad.
It was
at
crazy.
one time for people. So, apparently, a perfect score in the LSAT exam is a 180, and L's score of a 179 puts her in the top 0.1%. So that bitch is smart.
When I originally watched it, I literally thought she barely passed. And
Didn't they say like you need at least a
180?
Yeah.
Her guidance counselor, Elise Beasley, who I love that actress.
You would know her as the teacher from Recess.
Oh my god,
is the guidance counselor.
When I was watching her, every time I look at her, I'm like, I recognize her, and I thought I'd seen her, so I looked her up. I didn't see anything.
You would definitely
have known. Okay.
You would know her voice.
Yeah, you know her voice.
That's probably what I recognize.
I recognize her from Moonlighting in the 80s. She was Agnes DePesto. She was the secretary in Moonlighting, and I loved her ever since. But I was very young when I watched Moonlighting. It wasn't college or anything. But I feel like she said like you have to get like at least a 173 or something. So it's like when she did get that grade, I was kind of like, oh great, she just made it.
Yeah, in
like,
reality,
I wonder what a perfect score was. But yeah, she pretty
Mm-hmm.
much almost aced it.
We were talking about last night of I didn't know anybody growing up that went to an Ivy League school.
Harvard.
My stepdad went to Berkeley, and that is the only person who I know that went to an Ivy League school.
I was a poor kid.
But yeah,
none of my family got anywhere near that.
But I mean, I even grew up with some really smart kids too, like really smart, and nobody was going to fucking Harvard.
Yeah,
I think that a high school friend of mine maybe had an interview, and she didn't even make it past that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are the valedictorian?
Yeah.
Valedictorian of my grade. He applied to Yale, and I don't think he made it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the valedictorian of 85 students. So the bar wasn't that high for him to be the number one student. But
I remember our high school guidance counselor telling us about applying to schools like that, and they do factor in of, is this person unique? As in, like, I guess that we don't have any other
application.
I guess that we don't have any other people applying with a fashion merchandising degree. So, like, that's funny.
Or a Ricky Martin video.
Mm-hmm. She was an extra in a Ricky Martin video.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts about this that I just realized too, she's in a different color bikini in every shot.
Yeah,
a different color.
And the bikini tops are all like sparkly.
Do you remember what happens in the Days of Our Lives? Yes, the evil. I forget the rest, but oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah. The videos. The scene where they're like watching the video though, and the admissions guys are just like
hot and flustered. They're like,
is going on. Yeah, but I do love that there are guys that are just like, but what about this? When he's like, I don't know, and they're all, but what about this? They keep trying to push her through.
I also love this room of men just watching all of these videos one after another and deciding who gets into Harvard Law.
Also VHSs.
Yes.
Throwback.
Her admission on a VHS. So, okay. I would like to talk about the fact that everyone at Harvard is a complete dick. They all...
Oz Perkins is sweet.
Oz Perkins is sweet. The big Frankenstein guy is sweet. But everybody else singles her out based on her appearance. I mean, granted, she does drive in a fucking Porsche followed by a full moving van.
Big moving van. Yeah.
Also, and probably one of my favorite outfits, that latex, like pink outfit. Also, let's talk about Bruiser, how cute, who's also named in reality is Mooney.
Oh,
isn't that so cute?
And Bruiser doesn't come out until the sequel.
Right, exactly.
Because wasn't that the whole thing? Was that Bruiser's gay?
Well, actually, in the second one, I think the other one passed away. But like, they realized that the girl dog was a boy, and that liked wearing dresses in the second one. Because she was trying to defend the animal testing.
I was going to say, doesn't the whole second movie revolve around Bruiser?
Pretty
and,
much, yeah.
A family member of Bruiser died during animal testing or something.
It's a different
Jesus.
name in the movie. I'm not quite sure though. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
I love the actress that plays Enid, Meredith Scott.
Wexler.
Meredith
Gay person in the movie.
Meredith Scott Lynn, who wants to change the semester
to Ovester.
to Ovester. And I was reading that Amanda Brown, that is actually like something that she got from when she went to school.
A real thing.
A real conversation that she had with
okay.
one of her feminist classmates, which is so funny.
Yeah.
She was also like, she's really really interesting because, like, you know, I when I watched this, I actually totally missed that as a kid, that there was a lesbian in the movie, and the fact that she made a lesbian march for lesbians against drunk driving.
Yeah.
And also, it was actually one of the first gay slurs too. I probably heard because like I remember when Elle was trying to join the group. And she was like, well, next time you don't say dyke behind my back.
Yeah, call me a dyke. Yeah.
And she was like, I didn't say that. You must have heard it from Vivian.
Yeah. I love that about Elle, that she's just like, I don't use that word.
Yeah.
I love that.
She was like the Hillary Duff, don't say that.
And especially at a time where you would just see casual homophobia in movies, too.
And also saying fag, calling somebody faggot, like even at that time, that was one thing. But I kind of feel like dyke was never like super. It was never like you can't say that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Completely desensitized.
It was always been like, oh, whatever. That's just blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But even then, Elle was like, I don't use that word.
Yeah.
So it's like work, okay,
which
cool.
I really appreciate.
Yeah. Because I mean, I feel like that word got bandied around so much easier than like fag or faggot or whatever. And even then that was still kind of thrown around. So it's like that one was kind of like the last bastion of like gay slurs.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of crazy how that happens too.
Yeah.
You know, like growing up, like I was so used to like hearing all that stuff. And like these days you will never.
Oh yeah.
Never. Like all the movies that were back in our day will never be today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Totally. Yeah.
Except Legally Blonde.
I love the scene where she's introducing herself to her classmates.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Elle Woods, and this is Bruiser Woods, and we're both Gemini vegetarians. I have a bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising from CULA, and I was a Zeta Lambda Nu sweetheart, president of my sorority, Delta Nu, and last year I was homecoming queen. Oh, 2 weeks ago, I saw Cameron Diaz at Fred Siegel, and I talked her out of buying this truly heinous Angora sweater. Whoever said orange was the new pink was seriously disturbed.
Of that, you just
when they're
see
sitting on the grass.
This infectious positivity from Elle.
Right. Well, one of my things, too, on this last viewing, I was like, oh, okay, that's why everybody looks so old. They all do have multiple masters and PhDs. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, these people all could be in their mid to late 20s.
If not their 30s.
Because of all the schooling that they've had. Like Enid Wexler, she dropped she had a master's and something else. Oz had 2 PhDs. The one supposedly sexy blonde guy who Stephen Hawking stole his idea.
Oh my god! I love how freaked out people are of her in this group too. She's talking about how she saved Cameron Diaz from buying a horrid orange sweater.
a truly heinous sweater
because
at Fred Siegel.
Whoever said orange is new pink was seriously disturbed.
Oh my god!
Just because that's the type of girl that Elle is. That she would just get chatty with Cameron Diaz and talk her out of buying something that she thought was ugly.
Yeah, if it doesn't suit her, she would tell her. She wouldn't tell her to get it. But it's that thing where everybody just looked at her and they're just like, "Ugh, this fucking idiot." Like the one guy when
what is this?
Yeah, when she asks for the social schedule or whatever, he immediately is just like, "Get the hell out of my face."
I mean,
you're just like, "Oh, geez."
I mean, meanwhile, I think that probably Harvard Law does have some sort of itinerary of
come on,
clam bakes and trips to the Cape.
Come on, they have to. You're in Boston,
going to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah. They have to have. I mean, they're still college students. It's like, come on. I know it's Harvard Law, but shit.
I mean, there's only one way to find out. Scott, take the LSATs.
Do it
find
now.
out.
Let's get your video essay.
We need to get the bikinis on.
I mean, I think that I am the only one on this podcast that graduated college.
that
has a Bachelor of Arts, so I guess I could.
I have associates for being in hair school.
Work. I was gonna say, really though, at the end of the day, a bachelor's in fashion merchandising and marketing.
In history of polka dots.
That's a 2-year.
Yeah, probably.
That's an associate's degree. Mm-hmm. You get that, like FITM and FIT and the New School and all that. That's an associate's degree. Not that an associate's degree is bad. It's a degree. Mm-hmm. Do I have an associate's degree? I do not.
Love the scenes with Holland Taylor on her first day of class.
And this is another example of someone who you could have said, just a mean, bitchy old lady who does not like Elle, and she completely has a really great moment later on in the movie that you're like, yes, work. Women supporting women, you know?
I was looking up a article on, I can't remember if it was like IndieWire or something, of just famous movie props throughout cinema history, and Elle's pen is on it. That they wanted, it was a note in the script that she had this cool pen, and they kind of figured like, well, what would Elle's pen be?
It's like pink, fuzzy, like feathery, like marabou feathers.
So Elle's pen, and she's even holding it on the poster.
Oh, okay.
So just kind of a very iconic character prop.
And later on, when she does buy her MacBook from the school bookstore,
it's like, girl, you don't want to go
the
over to
iBook.
You don't want to go over. You don't want to walk over to Best Buy for that.
Yeah, the markup at the university bookstore. Get the fuck.
I mean, she was in her,
rich.
but she was in her bunny
outfit.
She was in her bunny outfit,
so she just had to go to the campus bookstore.
But I love the idea in this movie that all the students had their laptops, and it was almost played as a joke.
Yeah, it's kind of a gag.
It's played as a gag. It's like, oh, look at them all, like with their, you know,
and Elle just has her little fuzzy pen
and a notebook. Wasn't it like a lips notebook, or like the notebook was shaped like something?
I don't remember.
It was like lips or something like that. The notebook.
I also loved her outfit too, like looking so sharp.
Her very first day of school outfit was great. It's like the purple plaid like suit kind of a.
It's green.
It's green. I'm
it's
sorry.
kind of like a robe.
It's like a robe. It's
and that was also like around the time when she bumped into Warner before she goes into class. And she's just like, Warner's like, what the fuck? And she's like, I go here. She's like, what?
You got into Harvard Law? What? Like it's hard?
Like it's hard?
That's the thing about the script is that there are so many great lines of the script.
I know. And we totally missed like the whistling in the Mission video too. I object. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, the script is so quotable. And I think also over 20 years later that this has been out, still pretty funny.
Yeah, we were laughing.
Oh, yeah, hilarious.
We were like, this is great.
And there will never be movies like this again.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like a lot of movies now, they're so kind of disposable, but it's like, I don't know.
This movie brings the jokes.
It does. It brings the jokes. And it's like, but like the attention to detail is so great, because even when she does have this kind of low point where she's just like, fuck, I don't know if this is working out, whatever. And then she does pull herself back up and say, you know what? Fuck it. If this is what it takes to like succeed, this is what I'm going to do. Everybody has a computer. I need a computer. Okay. But she goes out and she buys the fucking like pink lifesaver Oreo. Well, it's orange.
I loved
the orange lifesaver. Like,
I don't think that they
MacBook.
I don't think that they had pink.
They didn't have
at the time.
They might have later on.
That would have been an expensive computer. That
would have been controversial.
Very controversial, because it was like, it was the very first like iMac, I think, like laptop.
I had only seen them in movies. I didn't know anybody that had that.
I didn't know anybody who had the
MacBook.
I didn't know anybody who had the laptop, but I knew people who had the desktop one, the big bubble desktop in the crazy colors.
Oh yeah, like the MacBook one. I didn't know anybody that had that.
Yeah. And then it did get cheaper, and then they morphed into just the screen, and then it went crazy. But so like even her choice of computer was like the cool, cute one. So they made a lot of these like little. The attention to detail was so good with her character.
So after her well-rounded. After her first day of class, she gets a lot of shit from Holland Taylor. Holland Taylor kind of judging her.
Miss Stormwell.
Well, but I mean, that's what it's so good about these scenes that set up Vivian, Selma Blair, to just be this, this mean girl that you're just like, okay, these are the mean. And she has her little friend, and like she keeps showing off the ring, this huge ring that almost looks like it doesn't fit her. She's like she'll like pet, Warner's shoulder with her hand just so like Elle can see it and stuff like that. And you're just like, ooh, that Vivian's so mean, but and it's just such a good job of that. And then later on, when they do get this, and another thing that they do really well is Victor Garber.
Yeah,
you kind of think that he's going to be this mentor for her and this like great, he's going to be like the stepping stone for Elle to like get through. Finally, somebody kind of is acknowledging that she's like serious, or at least if not serious, then her quirky ideas can actually mean something in a case, because she does always think outside the box. Her crazy ideas of like the weird sperm donor guy, and like, I don't know. I think talking about like
reckless abandonment.
Reckless abandonment with masturbatory emissions.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm like, okay, maybe this is a bit of a stretch, but at least they're setting up that Victor Garber is saying that's crazy, but you know what?
It could work.
It could work, right? And which is very Elle. That's exactly what gets her out of it. That's exactly what wins her the case at the end of the movie, is this kind of like outside of the box thinking, right? And so the script just keeps doing these things of just like, great, Victor Garber, we love him. And then we get the curveball later on.
Yeah. Mr. Callahan, how dare you?
Fuck.
Do we want to talk a little bit about Paulette in this whole
we
subplot?
Have to talk about
we have to talk about Paulette.
Good.
And we've talked about Jennifer Coolidge. I mean, yeah, so funny in this movie.
I love that she is a nail tech. She works at the salon. She's so tacky. And like her hair is just so dated.
Everything that they dress Paulette in. It's so much fun.
Yeah, her wardrobe is so
and you know
dated.
what?
I love it.
You know what I love is that she never gets a makeover by Elle.
Yeah.
I like that Elle just lets her be her kooky self.
Just accepts her for who she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think is so cool. Because I could see kind of a lesser movie having the makeover moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you would
I think that would probably push it over the edge from the seriousness.
But this movie doesn't do it.
Thank God.
Yeah, yeah. And it would be so easy for a character like Elle to be like, oh, like your hair is so like...
But she's not Vivian, so...
Right?
Boom.
And yeah, and that's the thing. Paulette is just, she listens to her and, she's just right there with her.
She's there to kind of push Paulette up.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites in the beginning when they very first meet too, one of my favorite things I didn't find out till later watching was when she was reading the magazine and Elle comes up and the magazine's saying, "Are you dying?" And she's like full on like going through it. Because like what I didn't realize was how abused she was.
Right.
And I was like, 'cause in my mind, I was like, oh, she's just weird.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, in reality, she was freaking brutally hurt or something. Dang.
Totally, totally.
And also I messaged you guys being like, I hated her makeup, I hated her outfits, but I loved it.
There's a line that Jennifer Coolidge says that I think it's my favorite line in the entire movie. So what's this Vivian have that you don't? Three tits. 3 tits.
Oh my God, I loved it.
Yeah, that shit's amazing. So also, speaking of this salon, we do have to mention previous movies that made us gay guests.
Love Connie.
Love Connie.
Yep. You can spot Love Connie in the scene. Bend and Snap works every time.
John is in there.
You can go back to our lifeguard episode, and John has a whole story about filming that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Also, their Instagram is at Real Love Connie. If you want to lurk them, they're a drag queen now.
Absolutely, you can go and see her perform at Akbar.
But John's whole story of how we got involved in this movie is very funny, and he tells it on our episode.
Yeah, it's on our lifeguard episode. So if you want to go back and listen to that, it's in there. But yeah, it's a funny little performance, and he's there in almost all the scenes, just doing a lot of little business. just
Yeah.
like
Behind the scenes.
zhuzhing up some hair in the background. Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I originally, when I watched it, I thought it was only a nail salon, but then
Yeah.
I found out later, I was like, oh, it's a hair salon. And it took me
Well,
so
full
long.
service.
Well, because he comes out and he's mixing color when he
Yeah,
says,
and I've only seen the
it's
nails.
the bend and snap. It works every time. He's mixing color.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the fun fact about the bend and snap, apparently it was actually a drunken mistake. So allegedly they were originally going to make that scene into a rob scene to get something with the UPS and Jennifer Coolidge, Paulette. And they were like, well, what could we do? And then some girl, like one of the writers did a bend and snap. They're like, let's do that. And that's how it actually came to be.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I think a robbery would have been too much. That's too sitcom, Golden Girls.
Robbing
it
of-
changed
Yeah.
a lot, like you said. in the
Because,
beginning of this movie.
robbing hair salons.
Yeah, such a lucrative move for like. Yeah, it also seems like if you watch Reese on like talk shows and stuff, she always talks about like this collaborative process with the writers,
Yeah.
and like kind of forming the character of Elle and kind of like
Well, I think that
adjusting it.
this is one of those characters that I think on the page was probably pretty thin. And I think that
Sure.
Reese at this time was getting to the point of her career,
Yeah.
just coming off of a role like Election, that I think that she was getting at a point of that the material has to be really good, too.
Right.
That she's kind of holding an expectation to it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she was also getting to the point in career where she was able to kind of talk to the writers and talk
Yeah.
to the director
Yep.
and say like, "Hey, I'd like to adjust my character here," and not just be like, "Shut up." Just say the words.
I mean, you know what's wild?
Just
is that,
say the script and
I mean,
go home.
Reese would have been, like,
very young.
24 years old.
Yeah.
Also had like a newborn at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because this was around the time that she had Ava.
Yeah.
Which was crazy too, because apparently Ava just kept getting sick, and she would have to like stay up all night
no.
and like take care of her,
Oh,
and like come to set.
So like a new mother, but
Wow.
also being the lead of Legally
Yeah.
Blonde.
Also, how was she that skinny?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, wow, can I
That's-
get that secret, bitch?
They did not have Ozempic then.
Oh my god, I was gonna say, give me a prescription, sis. So, after the Miss Stormwell kicks Elle out for not being prepared. This is actually when she leaves the courtroom, and this is where we meet my first love, Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson.
God. Emmett Richmond
Yeah.
in the show, and he is just so sweet. He looks gorgeous. With
He
his
looks
hair.
great.
His weird shaped head.
We love Luke Wilson.
He's a very angular face,
He
but
really
you know
does.
what? You know what?
upside
It
down
works.
triangle.
It works. We love Luke Wilson. Loved him ever since Charlie's Angels. Before that,
Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket. Yeah,
Royal Tenenbaums.
I love Wes Anderson. I am not the biggest Bottle Rocket fan. I love 3 Wes Anderson movies. Let's put it that way.
And
they all have
you love Royal Tenenbaums.
Moonlight?
the hotel one, and Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise, thank you.
No, I love Royal Tenenbaums. I love Rushmore.
Rushmore.
And I love. Yeah, let's see. What do I like more, Moonrise Kingdom or the hotel one?
Oh my god, they're both really good.
They're both really good. Maybe I like 4 Wes Anderson movies. I'm just saying.
Fun fact.
I'm just saying his this satellite city, Moonlight Rollerway, fucking
Asteroid City.
it's
gonna be out. It's gonna be out in the next month.
Roller Coaster Disco, whatever this new movie
Asteroid
is called.
City.
Asteroid City. This looks crazy. This looks like
Looks amazing.
it
I
looks
can't
like
wait to
an
see it.
SNL Wes Anderson. It looks like Saturday Night Live was like, let's make a Wes Anderson movie.
Well, I'll be seeing it by myself. But yeah, early 2000s, the Wilson brothers were very big.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
He
they're
was
very
also
big and very cute.
Kelso's big brother in that 70s show, which my grandma worked on. She was a scenic artist.
Love it. I completely forgot that he was Kelso's older brother on that show.
Yeah, he was only on like a few times.
Special guest star. It wasn't to the point of when Eric left and they brought in the other brother that came out of nowhere. But that's so cool that you worked on that show. I love that.
And
scenic artist.
Yeah, scenic artist. I think it was for CBS, if I'm not mistaken.
Fox.
That 70 show was Fox. Yeah, I
I
think.
think it was like the production or something like that.
Oh God, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
All
maybe.
right. Do we want to talk about the murder?
Okay, this case.
This case. The murder case.
The fact that Victor Garber,
He's
Mr. What did we say his name is? The professor?
He is taking on interns to help him with his caseload.
Professor Callahan.
Why is he putting interns on a murder trial? I don't know.
Free work.
Free work, but it's like, can you...
A murder trial, though?
College students?
He's like, no one else is willing to work with me because I'm an ass.
Right, yeah, that's probably why.
You can't...
Such a piece of
but,
shit.
like, you can't put them on, like, a real estate case or something?
Have, like, paralegals to, like, help him with, like, an actual fucking murder trial. But it's a good thing he did, because look how it turned out. But,
So we got Allie Larder.
Yes, Allie
Brooke
Larder.
Taylor.
Brooke Taylor. Brooks Bust... What's her workout?
I think it was like Brooks butt busting.
Butt busting something. Yeah.
Busting something. Mm-hmm. Allie Larder, an actress that you used to see a lot at this time.
Actually, she was originally a model, too.
In the mid-2000s,
Yes,
sure.
Yeah.
She was in Varsity Blues. I mean, she came out in the whipped cream bikini.
Final Destination.
Final Destination, that's right. And I feel like you just kind of quit seeing her in things.
Yeah, I think that's
around the mid-2000s.
2020.
I don't know if she has
rookie.
a reputation of being difficult, if she just got on a do not cast list, but you do not see a lot of Allie Larder anymore.
A lot of people from the 90s we don't see a lot of anymore, or in 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the last big Allie Larder vehicle was Obsessed. I'm the Beyonce. Anytime there's someone that's cheating on someone else... I'm the Allie Larder, you're the Beyonce. No, I'm the Beyonce, you're the Allie Larder.
Okay.
And I'm a witness.
I'm always the Beyonce.
This is probably the first time I was ever familiar with Raquel Welch. I think that she was kind of an introduction for me.
Rest in peace.
When I was a teenager. Rest in peace. But I remember...
I mean, yeah, what else would you have known Raquel Welch for?
A special appearance by Raquel Welch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who is very funny in this movie.
Yeah.
She only has a very brief time on the screen, but every time she's there,
you were the first runner-up of the Hawaiian Tropics. I love that.
No, that's her mom.
Huh?
Oh, that's Elle's mom.
That's Elle's mom.
Raquel Welch is...
Raquel Welch is the...
Oh, she's the one that is the daughter
the
of
perm mom, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And she looked gorgeous wrapped up in that gold.
In the gold?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. At first I was like, why is she taking off she's like reaching over and taking off the cucumbers off this woman's face. That's crazy, but her whole arms are completely wrapped up in this like gold foil wrap at the salon that they go find her in. Yeah, Raquel Welch is.
We were just looking up a
YouTube
of Cher and Raquel Welch.
Yes, that is the Cher show.
On the Cher show.
Yeah, I'm telling you, listeners, if you like camp. If you like disco music,
it's all on the Cher YouTube channel.
The Cher show, the Cher YouTube channel. All of the Cher shows. You do not need to buy the Time Life Cher Show compendium for 12 easy payments of $19.99.
You can
just go right to YouTube. It's all there.
You can see her duetting with Raquel Welch.
You can see her dancing with the Osmond family. You can see her dancing with the Jackson family. It is Cher. It is the 70s. She is tan. She is tight. And she's everything. But the video with Raquel is very good. They both look amazing.
Raquel's daughter is played by Linda Cardellini. Who is Chutney.
Not Chutney.
So this would have been Linda Cardellini.
Not Chutney.
Right after Freaks and Geeks was canceled.
Right after.
So this was like her first big gig that she booked right after that.
Yeah. This is when I was still calling her Linda Cardinelli.
Sure. I think that's probably how I assumed that you pronounced it when I saw this movie.
Yeah.
This is our second Linda Cardellini movie, Pete, this year.
What was the first one?
Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, my God.
Brokeback Mountain. Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that.
She has a really great perm in this movie. It's giving me it's almost giving me like 1940s.
Sure.
Yeah. She didn't have your bone structure.
She didn't have your bone structure.
I love Raquel in that scene. Like,
when Elle says she's never bone structure, and Raquel Welch is so proud of that.
She's like, thank you. That was amazing.
Yeah. But Linda's perm, this wig, is amazing. It's out of control. But it's very much like, see, she's got curly hair. She just got a perm. Don't forget.
Expensive.
Yeah. Because we have to have our little My Cousin Vinny moments.
Well, I guess that we
we'll
should
talk about.
Which, I mean, should we just get there?
Why not?
Sure. I
Why
mean,
not?
so I think that we just watched a clip of Reese Witherspoon on the Drew Barrymore show. Also, by the way, she's been on like 4 times since she's had the show. So I think that she's pretty...
Reese has been on the Drew Barrymore show.
She's pretty close with Drew.
Sure.
But she talks about when developing the script, I mean, we mentioned before that I think that she was just very hands-on with the script and the character. And she said to the writers, I want my Cousin Vinny moment.
Yeah.
She wants the Marissa Tomei testifying of just a very specific, something very specific that only this person would know.
Yeah. Very technical.
Yep.
And correct.
Yes.
And when you're watching it, you're just like, oh shit.
And what
She's got this.
And what we got is the famous perm monologue.
Yeah. Which, do we have it?
We do.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
You know, a girl in my sorority, Tracy Marcinko, got a perm once. We all tried to talk her out of it. Curls weren't a good look for her. She didn't have your bone structure. Oh. But thankfully, that same day, she entered the Beta Delta Pi wet t-shirt contest where she was completely hosed down from head to toe.
Objection. Why is this relevant?
Oh, I have a point, I promise.
Then make it.
Yes. Chutney, why is it that Tracy Marcinko's curls were ruined when she got hosed down?
Because they got wet?
Exactly. Because isn't it the first cardinal rule of perm maintenance that you're forbidden to wet your hair for at least 24 hours after getting a perm at the risk of deactivating the ammonium thioglycolate?
Yes.
And wouldn't somebody who's had, say, 30 perms before in their life be well aware of this rule? And if, in fact, you weren't washing your hair, as I suspect you weren't because your curls are still intact, wouldn't you have heard the gunshot? And if, in fact, you had heard the gunshot, Brooke Wyndham wouldn't have had time to hide the gun before you got downstairs, which would mean that you would have had to have found Mrs. Wyndham with a gun in her hand to make your story plausible. Isn't that right?
She's my age. Did she tell you that? How would you feel if your father married someone who was your age?
You, however, had time to hide the gun, didn't you, Chutney? After you shot your father.
I didn't mean to shoot him. I thought it was you walking through the door.
Work. But I remember sitting in the theater and being like, oh, yeah. Whenever my grandma would get perms, she would always mention that you can't wash your hair.
She would take a shower that night.
That you can't take a shower. Or like my grandma or my aunt or something, because they used to get perms
Yeah.
at my grandma's house.
80s. Would they do home permanence?
Yeah, home permanence. This wasn't even the 80s. This was the 90s.
In the 90s, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
A home permanent. I'm sure my sister's done a home permanent as well. And an official salon one.
But yeah, a very... this is very specific information that Elle would know.
And
Elle
only would know in that
Elle
moment.
would know that you do not take a shower after you get a perm.
In case you ruined the ammonia thioglycolate.
There is holes in your stories, Chutney.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think a lot of girls would know that, but you know, in this particular pool of interns on this case, but this whole case is where we start to feel for Vivian.
Yeah.
When their professor is constantly asking her to get him coffee, and Warner hears it, and he's not like, "I'll get it."
Warner's like, "Yeah, this is how it should be."
Yeah, he's just like, "Yeah, go get the coffee."
Yeah,
you know. And then I forgot what something happens. Oh, it's about the alibi. Mm-hmm. Allie Larder doesn't want to give the alibi that she got lipo in her ass.
I was getting lipo. What's that?
Liposuction. Oh God! Which it's like. Meanwhile, today, girl.
Sure,
come on,
not a big deal.
I was going to say it's an average influencer's lifestyle. Like if you're not lying and getting lipo, what are you doing with your life?
If you're an influencer and your whole theme is your ass, it's like people know that something was there.
And I 100% feel for her. You know, her husband just died. She's getting blamed. She doesn't want to ruin her career.
Yeah.
This guy, Callahan, definitely wants her to freaking just lose the case and get the money.
Yeah.
And, you know, Elle's like going there, bringing her like a whole casket of just like self-care.
The self-care
with the cosmetologist.
Yeah.
I love that. And like, you know, the crazy part too is that, you know, they met originally at like the booty class. She had the best high kick there, but they just clicked immediately. And she was just like, you know, this is the one.
Yeah.
And I loved seeing that like immediate trust.
Yeah. And you know, when
Allie Larder's hair looks incredible.
Her hair looks great. Her highlights.
Yeah, she looks so orange.
But you know what? When they're talking about like, oh, like we can't believe that you're not, you know, giving up the alibi or whatever. And Warner says something about like, oh, it's all about the money. What does he say?
He says, you know, don't worry about her and think about yourself.
Think about yourself.
And Vivian was just like, oh my God. And that's the first time. Well, I would say like the second time Vivian actually like realizes that, okay, this is a good person.
Yeah.
Warner
and Warner's
sucks.
not the person that I thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we start to see that Vivian kind of, you start to feel for her.
Yeah.
As
and
a
I love seeing that progression too of her
Mm-hmm.
just being like, get away to like, you know, maybe this could, you know.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. When he's constantly like, oh, Vivian, get me coffee. Vivian, get me this, get me that, or whatever. It's like, nobody says anything. Not even like Enid Wexler doesn't even say anything.
Yeah.
Like, they all just kind of let her go.
She's just probably stoked just to be there.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, she's just not even paying attention. But Warner's sitting right next to her, and he can hear it every time and doesn't do shit, you know? So it's like there's all this shit is in there, you know? And these... At this point, we still don't know that the professor's I mean, we know he's a jerk because he's constantly asking for coffee, but they're just little things that they're throwing in, you know? That, oh, he's being, like, super sexist with her, but he's not being that way with Elle. Like, okay, and then we find out. We get the big bomb that he's, like, he, like, touches her leg, and he's, like, fully coming on to her.
Are you hitting on me?
Yeah, like, to offer her this big internship with something that's kind of been...
So
over their heads.
I was reading that in the earlier scripts of this movie that she was in a relationship with the professor.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm glad they took it
and
out.
then,
I'm glad they took it out.
and then they just sort of retooled it.
Yeah,
I really
Good.
love how much they changed this movie. Even the ending was supposed to be completely different, and I'm so happy that they did the way they did.
Yeah. Because the way all the courtroom stuff goes down is really fun. Who's the pool boy?
Enrique. Oh my God!
And
I love Chuck.
And your boyfriend's name is
Chuck.
Chuck.
Oh my God! And like the thong they show, and one of my favorite lines from
My
Alanna,
uniform.
You know, Adelson knew would never sleep with a man who wears a thong. Loved it. I was like, oh my God!
I do like when Enrique kind of denies that Chuck is his boyfriend, and Chuck. What does Chuck say? He stands up.
Bitch!
You bitch!
You laughed.
Wait!
You laughed so hard at that.
Oh my God! And Chuck was a hottie. I was like, oh my God!
He was. And Enrique in court in this full-on bedazzled, like
Nutella
virgin,
novella outfit, like Virgin
Guadalupe.
Mary. Yeah. Oh my
We were
God.
like, in court, you're wearing this, bitch. Oh my God.
And you slept with who? I don't know, man. Did you see the pool boy though? Well, you know, one time he left his Cher album by the pool.
That's right. He did leave a Cher album by the pool.
Oh my gosh! Don't tap those last season Prada shoes that me, honeys.
Those are some kind of like stereotypical gay jokes, but they're still funny.
Oh my God!
I don't care.
I live for them.
I don't care.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's also the generation we lived, you know, with like Mad TV.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So, you know, it's stuff that we will always kind of resonate with because we were raised with like not as much as there is today when it comes to wokeness. So
yeah,
it's a lot more funnier.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just have a soft spot for stupid gay jokes.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah. Fucking Mad TV, man.
So Elle ends up winning the case.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
with her knowledge of hair care
as the lead defense attorney.
Yeah,
because they come up with some weird ass like archaic rule that like
thank you Oz.
Yeah, thank you Oz. That a student can like be your attorney if there's it's
a
like
licensed one.
Yeah, it's like a learner's permit. If you have a 25-year-old driver in the car with you, you can drive the car.
I mean, I guess that's how it works. I
Sure.
don't really know.
Sure. For the purposes of the movie, it works. And Luke Wilson is just like, go, girl. He's just constantly like,
He's
keep
just
going.
a full-on
Keep going.
supporter. This is
Yeah.
why he's the love of my life. He is the man I need. Always supporting, never once doubts her.
Yeah.
Who's the more perfect man, Luke Wilson in Legally Blonde or Luke Wilson in Charlie's Angels?
Oh,
That's a hard one.
that is a hard one. I love Charlie Angels
He's very supportive in both capacities. He's a little smarter in Legally Blonde though.
Mm-hmm.
In Charlie's Angels, he's a little bit more of a dope, but it works for him and Cameron Diaz's character. So,
And I love how, like, after she wins the case, Warner runs to her, being like, Pooh Bear, I
Yeah,
love you.
yeah.
And all this, it's just like, Warner, this is something I've always wanted to hear. But if I'm going to be a partner in a law firm by the time I'm 30, I need someone who's not a complete bonehead. Loved it.
It's really fun for this last act of the courtroom that we're getting all of these side characters that have connections to Elle. We're getting Paulette coming in with the UPS guy.
Oh yeah, Paulette
Pregnant.
shows up.
Naming
Yeah.
the baby Elle.
Baby Elle.
That Paulette's I'm taking the dog back. Paulette has
I'm taking that dog
Oh my God, that was such a good one.
Paulette has her bulldog. She has her man.
back.
And we also get the two friends.
Oh yes,
Yeah, Vivian.
Yeah.
Vivian
Who
and
dumped Warner.
Well,
and
we have
Margot.
Vivian who dumped Warner, but we have the friends. We have Alanna, Alanna Ubach and
Jessica Cauffiel.
Cauffiel.
Yeah.
They come to the case. They
Vote
come
for
all
Elle.
the way to Boston.
Vote for Elle.
Vote for Elle. Oh, how cute! You even have a judge and everything.
I love the reactions of when they're giving Elle shit when she's
Oh yeah. When they're kind of like chuckling at Elle with like all the shower, all the shower remarks. They're just like,
But I love the annoyed look on Alana's face.
yeah.
Like these assholes.
Serena and Margot. They're just like, fuck this crowd. fuck that cute judge.
This isn't a sorority?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah, that is kind of funny that the final day in court is this little curtain call for all the friends. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we love that.
You know, and one of my favorite parts towards the ending is like when they like give the little side cap to Warner, and they're like, Warner didn't graduate with honors, he didn't get the girl, and he got no job offers.
Yeah,
loved it.
Yeah,
I was like, hell yes.
Yeah, well, you know, something that we find out, which is in that really cute scene where Vivian and Elle kind of have their little friendship moment where Vivian comes to her dorm room and sits down and talks to her, and she's just like,
the whole time I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, but she's like, you know what? Warner got waitlisted, and Elle's like, fuck, I didn't even get waitlisted. I got in my first try, bitch. Like,
you know, Warner doesn't even do his own laundry. I know. He has to get sent out.
So,
I know.
do you think that if you were to write this movie now, an element that you would have to include in the script now is the whole nepotism conversation? Is that
of
even
Warner's
though
family getting him into
Warner's family getting him into law school?
Yeah.
I mean, I get that Elle did the work, but she's also from billionaires too,
right?
That I feel like that's probably something that you would have to work into
the Nepo baby conversation.
With Elle Woods.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's like her parents. She's going probably full ride, as in her parents are paying for it completely, and not like any sort of scholarship, and that probably does help.
Yeah,
if you as a student can say, I don't need any financial aid, I don't need any grants, my parents are paying for all of it.
I was going to say, my parents are paying for the school.
Yeah, I'm sure that the school is going to be like, welcome aboard.
Thank you for the charity.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that has to be a conversation for Elle, who maybe not like Warner, who's like legacy and parents pulled strings and all that stuff. But you're right. Just because they do have so much money to just pay for it, that the school's like, sure.
So they knocked out a sequel to this movie pretty quick. So Legally Blonde 2, The Red, White, and Blonde came out summer of 2003. I only saw once. Honestly, my only sort of references for it now is you look like the 4th of July.
Makes me want a hot dog.
Real bad.
Well, we're watching this movie last night, and I was like, when does Jennifer Coolidge want a hot dog? And Scott's like, that's a sequel. I was like,
that's a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
damn it.
And apparently there is a third, and it's actually I think it was already supposed to come out, but I looked it up and it's not out yet.
So this third movie has been talked about for a number of years. Its original release date was 2002 or
2003, May 2nd.
2022.
Oh.
And I just think it's just script issues.
Well, I think
Yeah,
you
they keep wanting
guys
to perfect it.
are forgetting about
Legally Blondes.
The musical?
No, there was a third movie.
Oh my God, with the two girls.
Two girls.
I saw that when I was on YouTube.
They're
I was like, what is this?
They're Elle Woods'
They're her cousins or something.
cousins from England.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm not
Right?
watching that, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Moving from England to California, the youngest cousins of Elle Woods must defend themselves when their school's reigning forces turn on the girls and try to frame them for a crime. Legally Blondes, 2009.
I mean, we can't have any erasure of Legally Blondes.
I know, I will not stand for this.
I mean,
Legally
this
Blondes
movie
erasure.
also did have a Legally Blonde mockbuster with Pam Anderson and Carmen Electra
What?
called Blonde and Blonder.
Blonde and Blonder.
Is it Carmen Electra?
Let me see.
And I think that Luke Wilson is also in that, too.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's see. Blonde and...
He's like, I'm going to ride this out.
Blonder. Maybe that's like not a... Oh, there it is. 2008. We got Pam Anderson and Denise Richards.
Denise Richards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought Carmen Electra.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not seeing Luke Wilson unless it's way down there. No. Yeah. I'm seeing like the first male lead of somebody that I don't know who this is or any of these people. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, this looks very mockbustery. Pam Anderson and Denise Richards. I love them both. I'll watch the tagline for this movie is "It's a no-brainer."
It's a no-brainer.
Okay, so I'm also seeing it. This is like a whole genre in the 2000s. Are the Legally Blonde knockoff movie Private Valentine, Blonde and Dangerous, starring Jessica Simpson.
Oh no!
And Steve Guttenberg.
Oh no!
Directed by Steve Miner, who did Halloween H2O. How do you like that?
How about that? Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. This movie was kind of a phenomenon as far as it was
a big deal.
Launching Reese's career,
Reese's career, and also whenever movies that star women make money, they're almost dismissed as a fluke by the industry,
right.
And that still happens to this day. Of when a movie like Bridesmaids comes along, everybody is shocked.
And then there's a slew of
that
fucking
it did so
knockoffs
well,
afterwards.
and then there are a slew of knockoffs.
Yeah. But I mean, this movie does have like a lasting legacy. We were
definitely
laughing last night watching it.
Just kind of, I mean, like a movie like Mean Girls, its lines are just sort of ingrained in pop culture.
Yeah,
the bend and snap.
And some of my favorite things about finding out when I was like looking more into this movie was like how Elle kept all her outfits because she didn't want no creep to have them.
Love that.
I love that. She actually was like an understudy to a sorority to figure out the character role. So I was like, girl, you don't need that. Like,
you didn't even.
They even had a discussion with the signature color, which was pink. They go to the sorority and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's pink." I was like, "How do you not know that immediately? What do you think it was going to be blue?" Like, no, it's going to be pink.
Like,
obviously.
yeah, obviously,
come on.
Yeah.
I remember when this movie turned 15. On Reese's Instagram account, she showed off all of the outfits that she
kept.
Oh, she still has them to this day?
Yep.
Love it. Well, how long ago did it turn 50? Well, 2016 then.
Yeah.
What is it, 20 years now?
Yeah.
So crazy.
Over 20 years.
Over 20, 22.
I mean,
at this point.
This is the 20-year anniversary of Legally Blonde 2.
Wow.
That came out 20 years ago.
That's wild. That's
I mean,
wild.
I think the sequel can still happen. I think that Reese is probably just very particular about stuff like story and script.
Yeah.
That it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And Reese is a perfectionist. I mean, she has her own production company. And what I love about Reese is that she is a huge movie star that when she got to a point of her career where she did not like the projects that were being offered to her, she formed her own production company and she made the roles herself.
Sure.
And she even produced stuff like Gone Girl.
Yeah.
And she just recently sold her production company for like
a lot
of money.
Like
So,
900 million, I think.
yeah, like she's a smart businesswoman.
That's so close to $1 billion.
Yeah.
Another really crazy thing that I thought was really interesting was how they were actually going to have a completely different ending to the movie.
Do we know what that was?
What was that?
Yeah, so the ending was originally going to end at the courthouse right after she won, with her and Luke Wilson character sharing a grand kiss on the steps. It then cuts to Elle with Vivian starting their own blonde legal defense club at Harvard Law School. But they thought it was just kind of weak ending, so which I agree would have been.
Yeah. We know Selma can pull off blonde hair.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
Also, props to her for doing all the things she has with multiple sclerosis.
I mean, fuck.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And her documentary, have you guys seen it?
I haven't watched it yet because I just don't have enough tissues in the house. But
we'll buy you some.
Jeez Louise. Like, yeah, that shit is wild. And her and Christine Applegate.
Yeah, you know.
Too. Like, this shit is... That is tough. And for both of them to just be, like, where they are and still, like, doing as much as they're doing, it's crazy. We're not big Dancing with the Stars people, but when she was on there, we were like, sure, we'll watch. We'll watch it.
Reese.
It was wild.
Reese sold her production company for $900 million.
That's what I said, girl.
I needed to find an actual number for that. Mm-hmm.
But didn't her weird ex-husband kind of have a stake in that?
Probably.
Not that I'm whispering.
And she's she's currently in the middle of a divorce with him right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that the same guy that when she went to Ireland, she got pulled over by the police and she was like, do you not know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
You can't take me. You can't arrest me. Loved it.
I mean,
go, Reese.
Yeah, I feel like if I was arrested now, I'd probably try to pull that. But
do you not know who I am?
Right.
It wouldn't quite work.
I'm freaking Peter.
Yeah, Reese. Drama. I mean, shit. The thing is, though, it's like she is a powerhouse in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Like right now, she's fucking like she could buy and sell the three of us without like blinking an eye.
And I would be totally okay with that.
Be okay with it.
I hope like, I'm more than 100.
Mama Reese, please, just put me somewhere nice.
Yes.
She's so rich, but it's like she did all that. Like, based on
she did all of that just because she wasn't satisfied with the type of work that she was getting or being offered. So,
but she had
to make it happen for herself.
But she had the presence and the charm and the smarts. To do it and to make it work and to keep thriving and to keep creating roles and movies and parlaying all that shit and then turning it into Best Actress. You know, and like, fuck. It's like the trajectory that you want, like in Hollywood. It's crazy that she was able to do all that. And it's like...
And create your own path, too. Because in Hollywood, it really is hard to not get pigeonholed in one outfit. I mean, like Amanda Bynes, you know, like Lindsay Lohan, they all had like pretty much meltdowns for not getting the roles that they wanted, which was like vulgar, more interesting, not this like the basic girl.
Yeah.
And you know.
And Reese started as a child actor.
She did.
The Man in the Moon, she was like 12.
She started as a child actor, and also a mom when she was in her early 20s.
That shit
which
is
now
wild, too.
Which now is kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, you see Keke Palmer's about to have a kid.
But Keke Palmer's almost 30.
But also Keke Palmer's in her like late 20s.
Yeah. Kylie Jenner's very young, but she's not an actor. So.
I mean, you got me there. But she's a reality TV star.
But she could also buy and sell all three of us.
All
with
at the same time.
The snap of her very long nailed fingers.
But we're still holding out for Legally Blonde 3. It can still happen.
Yeah, why not? We're here for it. We will say we did watch the Netflix movie with Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, garbage.
And we were less than impressed.
What was it?
Your Place or Mine.
Your Place or Mine.
And we love both of them.
Yeah.
But Ashton looked so miserable in that movie. Both of them did.
Well, the other thing is that they're not in the movie a lot together. They're on the phone together. But like, their scenes are all completely
I also
apart.
think the ending scene at that airport, they stitched together.
Yeah,
two different shots.
Yeah,
and made them look
that
like
they
they
may
were on
not have
screen
been doing
together.
them at the same time.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that Ashton is really into the acting world really much anymore.
Sure,
Because
anymore.
he did
He
like
doesn't
the
need to.
charity for a really long time. He has the kids with Melly Kunis. Like
He-
I just
he
think
has
I
so
think
much
he's just doing
going
what he
on.
has to do to get the money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, we love Reese. We love all that good stuff. But we did see your place of mine, and we were less than enthused with the results. But
We
hey,
love to hear it.
hey, if you have a different opinion, that's great. Let us know how you felt about it. But Legally Blonde.
Do we
man,
have any last thoughts on
I don't
Legally
know.
Blonde?
I just want to say this was such an incredible movie to like grow up to. Like,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
seeing how you could, if you just put in the hard work and just kill it, you could do pretty much anything and still be who
Yeah.
you are as a person.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I just want to say, like, that as a kid growing up was really nice, even though my mom did not want a gay son. She got one.
Yeah, because you're right. That's the whole thing. That's the message. At the end of the day, Elle didn't change for Harvard.
Yes.
You know,
And
she got
everyone
kind of,
denied her, even
Yeah.
her friends at one point, her family, like even the people when she was there, people were like, "What are you here for?"
Yeah, she kind of had everybody else adapt to her, and she made it work. You know, and
that's a beautiful
that's
thing.
a great message.
You know, also shout out to Bruiser and all their outfits. Yep, so freaking cute.
Bruiser's little cute outfits.
Little
yeah.
Mooney.
Yeah.
When he's getting his little roots done in the hair salon.
The hair foil, tinfoil.
Why were they?
So cute.
Why were they giving that dog? Why
not?
Why were they giving that dog foils?
Just a little highlight, just pop out its eyes.
because it's cute. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you so much for coming on,
Oh my
Wolfgang.
God,
This was
Wolfgang!
amazing.
So you do drag?
I do drag. You can find me at the Wolfgang Queen. I've been doing drag since 2016. She's really pretty, and I think I would like to say she's a 90s biker bitch.
love it.
And I've been starting to do dragging. I took a 4-year break because at one point I was struggling with the fact, thinking I might have been like transitioning. And so when I got into it, I was like, oh, I really love this. I love the attention. I like, and like people would tell me like I've only seen you as like a woman. And so I took some time off, and now I'm back. I fully realize who I am, and I did not transition for you guys to know. But I'm getting back to drag and having so much fun with it.
Night of 1,000 Elwoods. What look are you going in?
Oh my god! If I love this question, but I think. Oh, because I love that latex outfit that she comes in Harvard with.
I was going to say underrated look of the movie.
Look. It was so good. I would wear that or the bunny outfit where she goes to Vivian being like,
yeah.
I love your look, but when I look like a frigid fucking bitch, I try not to look so constipated.
Just felt like dressing up.
So the bunny or that one, and I would totally do the bunny in drag one day. Watch out, people! Find out online.
Love it.
Love it. Amazing. Do you have anything upcoming that you want to plug? Any performances? Anything like that?
Nothing yet, but things will be in the works. I'm
Yes.
just really happy to have met you guys and had this
Yeah,
amazing
absolutely.
moment. Like this was so
Same.
cool. Definitely like a huge mark in my life that I will always remember. Just bumping into random people, being like, "Oh my god, I love Legally Blonde." And then you're like, "Oh, let's do it, let's do it." So thank you so much for giving me the
you're
time.
so welcome.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. But yeah, everybody check out Wolfgang's Insta.
At the Wolfgang Queen.
Yes, indeed. There's a lot of fun stuff on there. Keep an eye out for some upcoming performances or appearances
Or shoots, photo shoots. I might be
like
dating
that.
a couple guys right now.
Alrighty, but listeners, it might be time to say goodbye to our guest. Thank you so much for coming on, and hopefully we can have you on again for something in the future.
I would love that. Also, goodbye, y'all listening. Much love.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. And thank you so much for listening, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Fun
indeed.
episode.
Legally Blonde. Glad we finally got to the full episode for the main feed. That was a lot of fun and a great one. But I think it's time right now.
For Patreon shout-outs?
Yes, God, I was waiting. It's time for some Patreon shout-outs.
Let's hear 'em.
We would love to say hello and thank you so much to all of our wonderful new patrons because we've got some fun extra stuff on Patreon. We're going to talk about it in a minute, but right now we're going to say hello to all of our wonderful patrons, including our new ones, Will, Adam, Chris, Andrew, Laura, Thomas, Dan, Whirlyflower, Brenna, Jessa Rabbit, Lawrence, Danielle, Lisa, Alexis, Thomas, Mark, Jackson, Millie, Ted, Benny, Jamel, Melanie, Susan, JJ, Shelby, Heather, Muffy, Jamie, Drew, Genevieve, Dawn, Joshua, Emily, Aaron, Jessica, Nick and Shannon, Christine, and finally, Rufino.
Thank you so much.
You guys, we've got some brand new bonus content
We do.
on the Patreon.
We are doing a recap of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 8 All Stars.
Yes, absolutely. Every week we've got a brand new recap, or recap, if you will.
They're out around Monday.
Yeah, they're out on Mondays. I was a little sick this week, so it was out a little late in the evening on Monday, but we still made it out on Monday. And, we're doing a recap of the season, so it's our favorite show. So, if you want to listen to us muse on who we think is going to win this season.
And that is the $5 level and above.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think that we're going to probably keep this up, that we're going to start to do...
Yeah, we'll do more TV
We're
shows.
going to do more TV, and we're going to keep doing the commentaries. So,
Absolutely. So check it out. We've got some 30-plus bonus episodes for our Watch With Us commentary tracks, where we pick a movie and we record a brand new commentary track as we're watching the movie. We give you instructions on how to sync up the movie if it's streaming or if you have the DVD, and then play our commentary to go along with it. Or you can just listen to it as a bonus episode. It works really well that way. Also, and there are over 30 of those, and those are on the $10 level. So there's lots of really fun options over on our Patreon. So thank you for checking that out. Patreon.com/movies that made us gay. We'd also love it if you would just rate and review the show.
Yeah, give us 5 stars.
Yes, indeed. If you're on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, smash that 5-star button all the way over to the right. And if you're on Apple Podcasts and you want to write a review, please do. We'll read it on an upcoming episode. You can follow us on all the socials. We're on pretty much everything. We're on Instagram and Facebook at Movies That Made Us Gay. And if you're still on Twitter, we're at
MTMUG Pod.
Yes, indeed. If you want to follow our personals, feel free. My name is at Peter Lasagna on Instagram.
I'm Scott Youngballer on Instagram, and follow my letterbox.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.